Well, it's been Wandavision all week, and now we got a new theory from Murphy's Multiverse that may give us some clues on who is Dottie. Let's talk about it. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to Comic Book Nostalgia. I'm CB Nostalgia, and we've got a little interesting theory on Wandavision. Well guys, we got the first 2 episodes of Wandavision, and we got our first introduction to Westview and many of its residents. One of those new residents was Dottie, and since we met Dottie, there's been a lot of speculation on exactly who she is. Theories like Clea or even Mephisto have come to light, but now we've got a pretty interesting one from Murphy's Multiverse. Now before we break this down, I wanted to remind everybody to make sure you smash that like and subscribe button and ring the bell. Also, don't forget to get in on this year's giveaway. We're giving away this PlayStation 5. All you have to do is be a subscriber and leave a comment. Well, like I said, this theory comes from over at Murphy's Multiverse, and is from Ed Rose, aka Superhero Theorist over on Twitter. Now, he's connected a couple of dots here that I think might be pretty spot on, and based on a previous story we did, it seems to be confirming something pretty interesting. Now, one of the questions we were left with after the second episode of WandaVision was, who is Dottie? Now, some of the theories out there are Dottie is the leader of her own cult or coven of witches there in Westview. Some people think she's the Doctor Strange character Clea, and there are others who think she very well may be Mephisto. Heck, I even theorized over on Twitter she could be the Enchantress. But now Ed has kind of put some clues together that make more sense. And it seems she might very well be Arcanna Jones. Now, if you don't know who Arcanna Jones is, she's kind of a classic Marvel Comics character from back in the 80s and was part of the Squadron Supreme. Now, the most interesting thing about Arcanna is her magical powers. She is a flat-out sorceress and was born with magical abilities. She actually has magical control over the elements of nature, earth, air, fire, and water, and is also one heck of an illusionist. As Ed points out, these things could tie directly to the comment that she made about the roses being divine and grown under penalty of death. Now, her husband is where the ties come together. Now, when you first look at Phil Jones, he's a pretty much stereotypical side character in your classic sitcoms. But when you dig into Marvel lore and find out who he is, it's a completely different story. Phil Jones in the comics was the husband of the sorceress, adventurer, and member of the Squadron Supreme, Arcanna. And in the show, he's actually the husband of Dottie. So it is possible in this new reality, inside of WandaVision, Arcanna underwent some sort of similar change or interaction with other powers, like Catherine Hahn's Agnes. But I do have a little bit of another theory to tack onto this. Now, this may tie into a video we did several months ago. I've linked it down below, but we did have reports that the Squadron Supreme was going to be part of the Loki series. Now, if you're familiar with the Squadron Supreme, you know they're from an alternate Earth. And the fact that WandaVision is kicking off this multiverse arc could definitely play into that. And we do know Loki's time-traveling shenanigans likely created other universes. So how these two things tie together, we don't know, but it's pretty much a sure thing. As for how much of the Squadron Supreme we get, it's completely unclear now. The Squadron would be a huge add to the MCU, and in many cases, they are an antagonist to the heroes. I'm starting to wonder if we're going to get a peek into a whole different reality, and that's where Dottie's from, and maybe even some of these other elements in Westview. Now, like we said, this is a theory, so we don't have any evidence, but it does seem to make a lot of sense, and we can confirm that Phil Jones in the comics is married to Arcanna Jones. So maybe that's who Dottie is. Now, obviously, we're going to find out more details this week when WandaVision comes out, as well in the coming weeks as the series concludes, but I'm curious on what you guys think. Who do you think Dottie really is? And do you think it would be pretty cool if it turned out to be Arcanna Jones and a member of the Squadron Supreme? Sound off in the comments below. If you like this video, make sure you press like, click subscribe, and if you don't ring that bell, you won't get any updates. Peace.